Hello, I'm Chris Simmons, a learning enthusiast, and welcome for joining me for this episode. So, today's episode, I'm going to talk about something cool in Lightburn. It's a tool in Lightburn that is underrated, has a cool feature that pretty much no one really talks about a lot. It's called Print and Cut tool. Most laser hobbyists just use it for alignment of purposes or for making larger projects than their workspace. Well, in this video, I'll show you how to actually use the tool for what it was meant for, printing on one device and then cutting or engraving using a laser. I'll show you how to make gift tags, product tags. So simple to do this. You just need a printer and a laser and Lightburn. There's a couple of different processes you can use with other tools like a vector graphic tool, but I won't go into this in this video. I'll just talk about using Lightburn for this and those other videos I might make in the future. But right now, this is what we're going to make, basically. Hopefully you can see that. If I have my finger. It's just a little tag, product tag to have a company logo or product logo on it, and we'll be making that in Lightburn. Like I said, using the print and cut tool is gonna be like this is what it is now cut out, but we'll print it. You can print it, on different papers, right? But what I use here is, and I'd recommend, is cardstock. It's thicker, so whatever your printer can use, I would use for that, and that will work well. And depending on what kind of printer, I mean, inkjet printer is what I use. But we'll talk about how we're going to do this, and how this process works. It's pretty easy. So without further ado, let's go to Lightburn. Okay, so I have this here ready to go with my Lightburn. So we're going to start out with, and I've already done it, but we can start, is you want to make your tool line that's going to be approximately the same as the paper size you'll use. I use letter size with my printer. It can be whatever size your printer can take if you want to print that, something bigger. So that's will work well. Let me just take off. So what I would do here is with that, we're going to start with a square or a rectangle, actually. And depending on what size you want it for your thing, and you kind of got to come up with that. We won't do a fill, we're going to do this. Approximately 2 by 1 is what I'll use here. The other thing I'll show you in a second you'll want to use. But first I'm going to round the radiuses because I like the look of that. So you can see, get that edge. So I'm going to start like that. Put it here. And then I'm going to make a circle. Hold the shift key and just make a circle. It can be whatever size that you think works. And I'm going to move it here. Overlap it a certain amount. Line it. Make sure it's aligned. And then I'm gonna merge the two into one thing. So that's the first one that I'll make. And then I'm going to take another circle because I want a little cutout for where I'm going to put a string or make that a bit bigger. That about where I want it. So here you can see I've gotten this done in the size I want. And then what we're going to do, so you want to put whatever you want to put on here. Is it the logo? I have some library of different things. So I can put like, if you're doing holiday, you can make them different holiday, and you can make them all different if you want. I will use my main graphic. And make sure it's grouped. I'm going to put it here. Put it. And I'm going to make sure it's approximately in the middle. But I'm going to also get a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to put my, this little logo here that I have. And make sure it lines it. And then what I'll do is I'm going to select and group the whole thing. And then I'm going to take this tool, which is the array tool, as I call it. And what I want to do is make about 5 by 2, right? So that'd be like 10, right? Maybe I want the spacing, this is 3, maybe like, adjust the spacing a little bit. The spacing, 0.2, something like that, right? So now I have all this, and I'm going to put it approximately in the middle. And then what I've done, so you'll need, for this next part, you'll need to draw crosshairs. So this is what I have. I have 2 lines that then intersect, and then I put 2 circles right around the main target area, and then this. You can find these places, or you can make your own. So you want to have one on one side and one on the other. And then this is the next part. So once you have these 2 and you have this, the next part is the print part. So figure out your cardstock, what you have, and you can print it, and then you can print it out on your stock. And the way to do that is in the file menu. There's print. Now there's 2 options. There's print keep colors, or there's print black only. I recommend the keep colors because for not everything prints. Like, it doesn't seem to print if it's black. Now, one other thing you could do, depending on how you want to do it, you can do no outlines on your print. I printed with an outline on it, and the laser just went over it. You don't even see that outline that gets printed. It's gone. So you can choose not to have it. So you could make these. If we ungroup, you could go through and change this to, say, a red or something, and then you can turn it off when you go to print it, so it doesn't show. I'll do the same for this. So any of your cuts, you could do that. And then basically what I'm saying is, if you turn these off, then it doesn't get printed. So you can just print what you want printed on there, which you'll want the bullseye, the 2 bullseyes. You need the frame. And then you'd want just what is in your tag. Like I said, you can print the outline of the tag, but that will not show up. So if you print this out, you can print it out. Try some tests on paper just to see how it looks. But once you get in cardstock, then you can do it. And see how this is outlined? This is how it was on the cardstock. It was outlined, and then it cut. And if you look at the actual, you won't even see the lines. It cut, the laser cut exactly on those lines, so that's not even in there. So it's really cool. It will count this. So the next part I'm going to talk about is now that you've printed it, you put it in your laser. So the next part is critical way of doing the print and cut. So what we'll do, come back here to the screen. The print and cut menu doesn't want to show up in my thing, but basically what you'll do is you have these two bullseyes, and what we do is you'll actually want to move the laser head to where it lines up right there. And there's a couple ways, depends on your laser, right? You can jog it over with these controls. You can use like I said, this little tool, and you can use the camera if you want to get it somewhat close, but the camera really doesn't matter in here. So once you get it where you want it, you can either move it here, but you want to keep doing it, and you want to fire. You want to click the fire button, right? So you want to keep it low, 2%. You fire. So, and you may have a laser that you can do this on the machine. You can jog it and do all that. So you can do that there, or you can use Lightburn to move it, depending on the type of setup you have. And then once you first get the first one, you'll then, in the laser tool, you can use the wizard, but it seemed confusing to me. So I just go and, once I get the laser where I want it, then I'm going to select this image and basically say that they're in the same place, that the laser is there. So I said set first target. Okay, well, I'm not connected to the laser at this point, but you'll do first target, and I can show you what that will look like at some point as well. You'll set it, and it's going to glow. It's going to change this circle to a specific color. And then next, you'll go to the next color, the next bullseye, which should be on the opposite side. Like diagonally is how I have it. I don't know if you can put it across, or it has to be diagonal, but this is where I put it. And then you'll find, after you've selected the first one, you'll then go and move the laser head so it's right there. And you have to look at the laser on the bed and make sure that it lines up with your printout on there. And then you select, then you'll do select second target position. Once you do that, it's very simple. The next thing that you'll do is you'll do a line to target. And there's two settings. Do the first one. Don't do the no scaling. What you'll do is the align to target, and it will know that your printout is going to be slightly different than the actual what's in Lightburn. It will know that scale is, it will know because of the distance of the two bullseyes. It will know that it's scaled differently, so it will compensate for that. You can test it, but the first time I chose the wrong one, didn't work. So don't choose the first one, and it will work. It will figure it out, and it will cut it precisely. Right, just because it knows these two, it knows their location, it's able to scale all this, so it will cut it precisely out. It's a very good tool, pretty simple to use. Right now I will put a video I'll put a video in here that will show it cutting it out. It worked real well. You can use a bigger, not bigger, but a thicker material than I did. Whatever you can do in your printer, I would do, and you can do different colors if you can find it. So different craft papers that you can print on, and then you can produce these tags. They could be price tags. They could be, made in the USA, or made wherever, or you're made by your brand, or whatever. You can make them, like I said, gift tags for Christmas to and from. You can put whatever image you want on that. And using Lightburn is going to be limited to the colors in Lightburn, uh, but you can do a black and white basically of a logo or something or image if you want, and print that out on your printer, your inkjet or printer you have. Then you can put it into the laser and just cut it out. And it's like I said, the precision was really cool. It worked perfectly. It cut that lines because I printed the lines actually, and you don't need to. But if you print the lines, they will be lasered off. Now, you can see there's a little bit of, might be charring, might be my settings. You have to play with the different settings. I did take a magic sponge, not wet, just the magic sponge, dry, new, and went over any of that, and it kind of took most of that out. You can try masking. I wouldn't mask over, of course, your bullseyes, or that's going to be a problem. But you could try masking as well, or just play around with the different settings on your laser. So, yep. I hope you enjoyed this little video on using that function, the print and cut, and try some other things that you can print out. Maybe you print something out in color you want to cut out or something. I mean, like I said, I'm going to talk about at some point probably using Illustrator or Inkscape to actually put in nice colors and nice printouts that you could do, and then use the laser to cut out. Be working on those to see if I can get that to work. But it's a very handy tool for alignment and for this print and cut thing. So I like being able to print it. I'm not very good at cutting. If I was to do this by hand, it wouldn't come out as precise as the laser. You can try doing also designing your own boxes and things like that. Just some card stock type boxes. So possibilities are endless. I'd say try that. And thank you for watching. And really, if you can, give me that like, and share this and like and all that, that helps the algorithm, helps my channel. So whatever you can do, you can like, you can subscribe to the channel. That helps too. And share this video with others, because I don't know how many people are really aware of this feature or use it in this way. So I encourage anyone to try it with their laser and with their printers. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, never stop learning.